What'd you get up to yesterday, Coach?
Well, I woke up a little late and got some breakfast and took my kids to school and just rolled in here. Listen, we've been doing a lot of preparation prior to that day, and the preparation paid off.
Was Butler your number one target going into free agency?
Well, he was certainly a huge target. Yeah, we didn't rank him, but obviously he'd be at the top of the list. We needed to address some needs. We addressed some needs, in kicking with Medlock in the offseason and the acquisition of Zach, and then obviously yesterday we addressed the needs as well, with Craig being a big addition to us. We're really excited about having him on the football team.
You made the Grey Cup last year with the team that you had, but you've made a number of changes and additions this offseason already. I mean, given your success last season, what's the reason behind making as many changes as you have?
Simply to get the football team better. We obviously weren't good enough to win the championship, and that's what we're hired to do, is to build a team that can win and to win championships. And so we take a comprehensive approach to our evaluations and piecing the puzzle together to improve the football team overall and to raise the water level in our talent and to layer in depth as well, because there's always going to be injury situations that you're going to have to go through. So given, among other things, but given all of that, we just trying to get the football team better.
So when you mapped out the way before yesterday, did it go the way you planned?
Almost exactly, but not completely. No.
Just going back to Butler for a sec, how do you plan on using him? Safety, linebacker?
Well, the beauty with Craig, right, is he brings huge versatility for us in the back end, and so right now he'll be our free safety, and but we can also roll him down. We can do things with him because of his talent level that is hard to find, in this league. So you guys know, you've been with me now for a while. We want interchangeable parts so we can have flexibility with our ratio on either side of the ball, because one side may affect the other, right? So he's one of those players that allows that.
Does that mean you see Courtney moving to another spot in the secondary? Do you still see him as a starter on defense?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, we're really high on Courtney. I think he's a really talented young player that's going to be a starter in this league for a long time. So all that's been addressed with both players.
So if you've got two starters in the secondary with non-imports, that would allow you potentially to either start 8 or to use an American in another spot. I mean, you've obviously thought that through. Can you give us a hint as to?
I haven't got a clue on that, nor have I thought of it.
Can you explain to us what the plan might be for how you might use your ratio at this point? No?
No, I mean, we have flexibility to look at it a couple different ways. That may mean that we get an extra American on offense. It just depends on how training camp unfolds, health, and another possible acquisition or two in the off season.
Your linebacking core looks like it's taking shape, or perhaps changing, obviously, from what it was last year. Mm-hmm. Do you hope to bring Jamal Johnson back?
Well, I mean, Jamal was offered a contract by us prior to free agency, quite in advance of free agency. He declined and wanted to hit free agency, so we allowed him to do that, and so he could explore what the market was for him. We're obviously very fond of Jamal. He was a captain for us last year, but like I've said before, we talked about this prior to free agency. It's not just a one-way street, right? It goes both ways. So we'll see how that plays out over the next week or so.
You still got great depth and Canadian depth at linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking to add on to that? Now with Jamal a question mark, Simone gone.
Yeah, I don't know at this point, but we really love our Canadian content right now on this football team, and we're really, really high on the players that we have.
Safe to say then there might be a couple other linebackers you look to bring in at this point then? To add to that depth there?
Well, there might be, and again, it just depends on a couple of factors, right? I mean, we have to look at the total roster numbers in each position, who we have under contract, et cetera, right? And then any other moves that we may make on the roster to free up space for somebody else depending upon that guy. And if we feel like that individual player is an improvement for us.
Can you sort of explain how the math works when you sign as many free agents as you sign in such a short period of time? Just in terms of the
In what
cap
regard?
and in terms of the cap and
Well, the cap's not it's a the cap's it's a day to day, right? I mean, we don't have to. I mean, it's a cap at the end of the year, number that we have to reach. So, we've got all that under control. Yeah, we're in good shape there.
Did the departure of some of the veteran players, like guys like Stella and Hage and Henry, allow you to do some more things flexibility-wise with the money that you have available?
I mean, I think the question that's pretty obvious. The answer is yes, and we've taken analysis top down from top to bottom on guaranteed money with all of our players and felt very comfortable with the moves that we made yesterday to adhere to the cap and how it might look from a roster standpoint when we get to the season. Obviously, a lot of things can change, and just there might still be some tough decisions that will have to be made in camp, but we're aware of that. And like I said, it's not a day-to-day cap. I mean, it's something that you have to adhere to by the end of the year, right?
With Kevin going to Ottawa, are you looking for a new long snapper?
Oh, we feel like we have a great long snapper already in 410. So, and Neil's an adequate backup long snapper as well. Now, we still may be in the market for one if they're better than what we have. Yeah, it's about improving the football team.
Gascon-Edon can snap too, can't he?
Um,
Or is that no? Okay.
yeah, did he tell you that?
Okay.
Yeah. We feel like we're okay in that position right now.
What's your initial thoughts on the schedule from a competition standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to play the teams you got to play, right? And when you play them is not as important as how you play them. So, obviously, we've got a tough start. We're going to be on the road. We understand that. We understood that when the staff took the jobs here. And the good news is that we're on the road quite a bit last year, so our players should be used to those challenges. And we just need to start fast.
You like the idea of the rematch against the Riders right off the skip?
I'm sorry?
You like the game against the Riders right off the skip?
Nah, it doesn't matter to me. Yeah.
How do you like having 2 bye weeks, especially one in the first, week 3?
Yeah, well, we requested that. Otherwise, we would have had 4 road games in a row, and so it was important for us to get a bye week early in the schedule, so the 4th game could be a home game. Otherwise, we would have been on the road 4 weeks in a row, which would have. Excuse me, I'm just getting over being sick, so I don't think
I
I'm
thought maybe that was making you sick.
Yeah, well, it was. Yeah, until
Just
it
gonna
got,
slide this
until,
back
yeah,
just
you're
a little
right.
bit, if that's all right.
Until it got corrected. Yeah, the bar's pretty high, right? The challenge is pretty high, so we didn't need to make it any higher.
Finishing against East Division teams at the end of the season, similar to last year, does it matter to you? Is this a good thing to finish against the East?
Well, I like the travel schedule in the last 6 weeks. I mean, if you really look at it, we only have one travel game, and I believe that's to Ottawa in the last 6 weeks. So I really like the final run of the schedule. But again, you have to play the teams you have to play. I mean, the games are going to be played, and our guys just need to be ready to play every week, like everybody else in the league.
Players happy about the second bye week, you think?
Oh yeah, they'll be happy. Yeah, unfortunately for us, it's not unfortunate. It's just the way it works out. It was important for us to get an early bye week, like I've already explained. The difference is the second bye came in the first half of the season, so we don't get a break in the second half of the season. But still having 2 bye weeks will be helpful.
Are you done in free agency?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.